Hey, take two.
Good afternoon, good evening, good night, and good morning, depending on where in the world you are watching this show. If you've just joined us over from Facebook, you guys know that we already started, but we're back in again.
It was like a pretend start, then a full start, then a cancellation, then a restart.
Yeah, and all you guys that were on YouTube, apologies that there was a technical error.
There was. It happens.
Yes.
It happens to the best of us. But we're not going to take
I'll hold my hands up and say that it was my technical error on this one. Okay, it wasn't a sit.
This time.
It wasn't a... Yes, absolutely.
But what we were saying and what you missed was the fact that it's a very important week.
Yes, in fact, it is a very important week because...
It's haircut week!
It is indeed haircut week. We've actually had haircuts. In fact, I had haircut just a couple of hours ago.
Mine was a couple of days ago, and I have never felt better. One, I've lost some of my lockdown weight.
Yes, are you going to do that joke again? Because that joke killed. Do it. I'm ready to laugh this time.
It wasn't a joke.
No, the other bit.
Which bit?
About the link.
Oh, yeah, because it's quicker with a link.
Yeah.
You should use that, Nicole. You really should. No, all we're saying is we're really grateful to everything that they do, because unfortunately my children have suffered through lockdown with haircuts, and they were butchered by me.
That's right. Yes, absolutely. So we are indeed very grateful for our hairdressers and lots of other people.
Underrated industry, that. Underrated.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we Luke's asking what the big deal is with the haircuts.
Long time ago, buddy. Long time. We got the Luke look.
It's so nice to see you guys, and it's also nice to see that in the chat,
I can see something in the chat.
Yes, we've got some green names in the chat.
You can see the green.
Because we have something very special available on Q Corner now to help people with the chat and other things too. But in the chat,
someone's got a haircut and a
like
perm.
that.
I didn't get the perm, but the haircut, that was good.
Because now we can do a thumbs up. We can do a thumbs up like this, and it's a thumbs up.
Whose thumb is that?
It's Mr. Q's thumbs up.
He's alive in the chat. Is he on his own in there?
No, because what we can do is... I know. I'm on it.
This false start has killed him.
I'm going to do that.
He's like, what? No. Yes, maybe. Yes.
And then I'm going to do that.
Oh, he's going for the triple.
And then I'm going to do...
It's like we've already done this 10 minutes ago, but to nobody.
Yes. There, and then I can return that. There
Yes.
we go. Look at that.
We are live in the chat, our very own emoji.
Yes. And the reason for that is that we have a new membership scheme. People have asked us many times before is what they could do to thank us for the channel and everything as well. And we've always said, next time you see us, buy us a cup of coffee or a beer. Or what you can do now...
My suggestion would be to write down a step-by-step instruction on a post-it for Keith of how to start the show.
But on this one, what we can do is, if you wish, is you can sign up to be a member, and it allows you to have access to a membership badge, which goes up in colour, depending on how long you're a member for, and also emojis.
So that's like a really good piece of information. It's almost like a golden nugget.
It is like a golden nugget of information.
I think you're the first person to do a Mr. Q thumbs up by one of our members.
There, look at that. And Misty as well, she's dived in with everything apart from the golden nugget. There is a golden nugget in there too.
We've got Rachel on there from Pioneer as well, and she says deja vu. Didn't she say that before?
I'm sure she said that before. Yeah, I'm quite sure. I got that feeling that she did. So yes, if you want to be a member, there's two levels. There is the general crew member, and there's a Rockstar member.
We need a little.
It is the Q Rockstar member, and the reason if you have the Rockstar member, there will be some extra footage and videos available to the Rockstar members.
You mean like they get to watch the live feed from the beginning?
But don't worry, if you don't want to, you don't have to sign up to be a member at all.
Nope.
You can still enjoy Q Corner for absolutely free.
But you don't get the Mr. Q thumbs up. That's all I'm saying.
But it doesn't matter. If you want to be, if you don't want to be a member,
Mr. Q's thumbs up is the most important thing.
It's fine. It's fine. Okay.
He's going to miss out. I love that.
Yes, but also now that we've had a few more people sign up on the membership, it allows us to do the next one. The next one is going to be the balloon dog one, but also on our community page.
Release it now.
Well, I'll have to give me a moment. But on the community page,
they're waiting. They're waiting.
What we can do on the community page, we've got a question there: is what you would like to see as more emojis for the future?
Because we've got a list of new ones.
Yes.
But you know what?
Yeah, you talk
It's
to them.
up to you.
You talk
But yes,
to them. So
we've
I'm
got
gonna
our Q
see
dog
if I can do this.
ready to
while
go.
we do that.
Ready to roll. Released into the wild, and he's there for you to use. Let's see who can be the first person to use him. It's not going to be us. We're going to put it to you. But Keith has to activate it.
I know.
For you.
I've noticed as well is that,
that?
Trish from Adelaide. She was watching live. Normally she does on catch up, but she's in Adelaide and it's 5 to 3 in the morning. So she decided that she's going to watch it live.
If anything's going to keep you awake, it's us.
Yeah.
I mean, some people would say that's a nightmare, but anybody else would say it's because it's worth the watch.
Yeah.
Is it done yet?
It's almost done.
Are we telling them what the secret code is? Are we telling them?
No, I'm going to have it so that it comes up on the screen in a little
It's
bit.
almost there. It'll be worth the wait.
There.
I promise. What's the chat saying? How do you get membership? So, Kenneth, when you go to the channel, normally where the button is to subscribe, which should be greyed out because you already are a subscriber. I hope. I know. Oh, it's had so many subscribers in there. Next to it will be a button that says join. So as long as you're logged into YouTube, you should have the option there to join, and you can sign up and join that and do that. Have you released it? Oh, it's out there.
It is out there, but I don't.
Q dog.
Q dog. I just. I think it takes a little bit of time to publish it.
What?
But yes, it is out there as Q dog.
We've got Dr. Bob. Or Dr. Bob, balloon consultant Robert Armstrong. You didn't have to put all of them in there, Bob.
So
I mean, you're missing your national insurance number and your address. That's all.
So what I'll do is I'll put it on the back screen right now for there. This is all the different ones that we have available. I don't know if you want to put them on front screen if you want.
Maybe, yeah. I can't in a second. I have to remember where it is. It's
number 5.
There we go, number 5. Are we ready?
Yeah.
There we go.
So here we go. So at the moment we have.
Just so you know, point to the screen, Keith.
Nobody
can see you.
Yeah. So we have queue up, nugget, and you got to do the colons on there.
There is a little smiley face that pops up though, and you don't have to type this. So that's there for you if you're on like a desktop, laptop type situation. You can just select it, and it will populate it for you. You don't have to remember these codes. However, if you type these in, is that someone's got the dog? There we go, Misty. Well done, Misty. I think you're the first.
There's Misty who's the first to get the dog on there. So we will be adding lots of
the
more.
First Q dog in history.
Julie has tried to do dog on there. It's Q dog, and you do have to be a member to be able to use the extra emojis if you want to. We've done it as low as a price we possibly could, and
Alfred's hasn't worked. Why is that? And he is a member.
You might have to refresh as well. But remember, okay, we'll get this. Hello, Kenny. She's a girl. Thank you, but I'm a girl. Kenny for short. Okay, Kenny. Are we back on?
We're back.
Yeah, they are only available to members. Unfortunately, it's the only way that we can do it through the YouTube platform. But we've done it as cheap as we possibly can. If it's not working for you, like I can see Alfred's just not working for you, you may have to refresh the connection just to get it to work, because I've literally just released it while this is live.
Yes.
So,
but the rest of them should be fine anyway.
Yes.
But that's cool. Look at that. Mars got one there as well. But, so is that the translated Q dog, or is it the original English version of the Q dog?
That's the Spanish version.
Right, clever.
Yes.
That's nice.
Yes.
I just wasn't sure because it did look a little different.
It is the Spanish version.
Yes.
So,
Nice.
right, anyway, we're going to move on from the memberships. If you have any more questions, please ask them anytime, no problem. But it's not what we want to share with you tonight. Anyway,
no.
We need to go over to, straight over to that one that we're on at the moment. On
this one, you want to go to here?
Yes, which is already in there.
Okay, ready. Ooh, hey, here we go. Why is it doing that again? There we go.
Yeah.
I get that.
Because what we're going to do is we want to share with you a little air-filled design.
We do.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's all based on...
Where's our background, Keith?
I was leaving that on, sorry. It's all based on this foil. There we go.
Love the colours in this one.
Alfred's got the dog working there. You must have done a refresh.
Excellent.
Thank you very much. And it's air inflated. So we're air inflating it with a 260Q tied off on the neck, rolled up nice and tight.
Grateful for all you and all you do. Is
Yes.
that to me?
No, not so much. No, it's for your hairdresser.
Seems a little mean.
It's for your new shirt guy.
I think this needs to go to our barbers tomorrow.
Yes, actually, we might drop it off to our barbers tomorrow.
That's what we need to do. Those guys working hard. They're working crazy
So
hours.
you can inflate with whatever kind of equipment you want to use, or a hand pump, or this is the premium smart twist, which we do a lot of our inflating with on our twisting with our twisting balloons. But for this, for the base, I'm actually going to start off with doing strokes on the hand count.
It's all about the base, yeah.
It's down here at the base. Yes, it is all about the base. About the base.
I think I'm going to
One,
like this.
two,
I'm going to
three.
hold this.
You know.
And look good and watch.
Okay, so we do
I
one,
had
two,
to
three,
edit, I had to edit what I was going to say there. It's been one of them days.
and then tie them off into a duplet. Okay, so we've got them the same size like this.
You
But
did
for
a
this,
really good job,
I only
people.
need one stroke. So these are Qualatex 5-inch lime green, and I'm just doing a single stroke and tying that off like a single, like that. Because
Nice
we also
round
want to use,
shape as well.
yeah, we also want to use some 5-inch spring green, which have been inflated to 3 strokes on a hand pump. Yeah, it's about 4 inches on there.
And again, like we've always talked about, the sizing is not necessarily needing to be exact, just consistent. So if you're using a hand pump, if you're using an air inflator, or if you're using like a sizing box, it doesn't matter as long as your sizing is consistent. But it's about that kind of ratio that we're looking for.
Yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some Dacron line. And Dacron line isn't a nylon line. We like to use Dacron line with this because it's stronger to hold it together and it doesn't stretch. Sometimes people use 260s or they tie neck to neck or whatever. That's fine. We're not saying there's anything wrong with those techniques. We're just saying this is what we prefer
For this
to do.
particular type of design, because it's not going to be like a column, it's going to be a sideways piece.
Yes.
And we find that a lot of people who are handling them, not the balloon world, but the consumer, the way they get a hold of a balloon design is far different to how you would want them to hold it.
Yes.
And that's just because they've got the utmost trust and faith in it. So when they get a hold of it at one end, that Dacron can transmit that structure all the way through. So that's why we're suggesting it for this particular style of piece.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that in there and I'm going to do a permanent knot. So the first time we just pull through once and pull tight, and then the second time I go once and twice through the loop and tie off, and then it means it can only tighten, it can't slacken off. All it can do is just tightens, tightens, tightens.
Great job.
And then from there, have we got a pair of scissors around?
We have.
Yeah.
You took them. I had them.
And
You stole them.
there we go.
If he's doing well, you should do a Keith emoji and a thumbs up in the chat.
If you can. Right, okay. So that's tied on there now first, and then I have a cluster of 4 5-inch lime green, sized to just one stroke on the hand pump, and then that goes on top of there, up, down, up, the figure of 8, and then we add our next one.
Well, why is that figure of 8 important, Keith?
Because it wraps across twice across the middle, okay? So it's not going around one balloon, it's going across 2 balloons opposite each other. So if one of them should go down, fail for any reason, you've still got a strong connection on the opposite side.
And why don't you wrap it round forever and a day?
Because you don't need to, okay?
That's right. You're wasting time. You're wasting Dacron.
And you're gonna,
And if something
you're
does
risking,
pop, it'll
you're
all
risking
unravel.
you're risking a burn as well. More
Yeah,
times you go
absolutely.
around, and like Dom
So-
said, if you go round and round and round, yeah, if it should go down, it's going to unravel. It's going to come.
Get in that habit of that steady, always the same
So-
technique.
Push down slightly, down one side, and up, and then we continue. When we get to the end, what we can do is we can take our single 5-inch, and then this just goes in, and it wraps around in that figure of 8 again, just to finish off the end.
Nice way to do it.
Yeah, okay, I'm just going to cut that off like this. That's that over there. Get rid of the Dacron because we don't need this for the moment, and I don't need this for the
We
moment.
do need this one.
Because
We
here's
don't need
one
this one.
I prepared earlier. So if we kept on going and we did 4 sets of the spring green, sized to 3 strokes, and then 3 sets of the lime green, sized to a single stroke, with a single balloon on either side. What we're going to do is we're going to add in our foil balloon
It's
to
a very
one side.
modular base
Yes.
as well. It's something that, you know, size-wise, this works for this particular foil, but if you've got a different foil, a bubble, or whatever it is that you're doing, You can change the size really easily.
Yes.
We're just going to use that 260Q that's on the bottom there.
Absolutely. I'm going to take one side and one the other, and I'm going to take it in at this part of the connection here.
Now, why have we used a 260Q rather than the Dacron or the nylon line or the ribbon?
The reason that we use a 260Q is that this is elastic. So what happens is when I put tension on, it's always going to pull it into the design. So it means that even as these balloons start to go down a little bit and everything softens, it's still going to pull itself into the design because of that elasticity, right?
Exactly. And you can colour coordinate as well, so you hide it in there. But that elasticity is the winner for us.
Yes. Also, as well as the same with most Qualatex foil balloons, the barcode is on one side only, so we try to keep that part at the back wherever possible. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my 260Q and I'm going to go front to the back, all the way underneath, and I'm going to wrap it in a figure of 8 on one side and a figure of 8
He's aiming
on the other side.
Scissors.
And I'm just going to tuck the extra bar parts of the 260Q under there, so that sits in there nicely before we even start. And then we have a couple of mini sand weights.
So this is where sometimes people get a design, they make it and it gets self-destroyed.
Yeah.
Because this structure is absolutely fine, but
Yes.
you add a couple of weights in, then its own weight, if you pick it up at the wrong end, it's going to kind of start falling apart. So
what we try to do is do a couple of small weights
Spread it
instead,
out.
and spread it out. And because we have that Dacron line that's pulling it together, what I can do is I can take a neck and wrap this into the design down here, tuck that in there, and then do the same thing here.
So these are just a 5-inch balloon, double stuffed. So we've got twice the thickness, so it's got that security there. We put sand in these because that's our preferred weight option. You can use water, but sand's definitely our preferred go-to weight there. It's just like nice and small.
And because it's colour coordinated to go in with it, they disappear into the design and they hold the whole thing steady.
It also adds that kind of value to it as well, because it feels like it's got that quality element to it as well. So having the weight distributed really helps with that.
Yes. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to add some flowers on here, because grateful for you and all you do. It's like giving flowers.
That's also official sign language, right, for a flower?
Yeah, a flower. Apparently not. So for the flowers, for the ones on this side, we're doing a 6-petal flower, which Dominic's about to demonstrate.
Oh yeah, because can I have a machine?
It's already there.
It's like you knew.
It is. It's like I knew.
I'll turn it on as well, because you set me up for a fail. Because unlike the last show where we left it on for 3 days and it holds its charge fantastic.
Yes, I mean it's still on. What we're on 24% there, and it's lasted for a long time. Trish, you must join. You must be a member if you want to.
Or you can
use
write
the
Q-Dog
emojis.
in the chat as well, because
That's
we
fine.
appreciate that,
we
because we
understand
know
it.
what you meant.
And we love you to bits. So there you go.
So there. I'm just going to put my earpiece back in though, because I fell out and it hurt. Right, okay, so
What are you using, Dom?
I'm going to do a couple of different versions of these, okay?
Okay.
So this is going to be a 260Q, air inflated, and I'm going to do the bigger version first. So I've just burped the balloon, so we've just let a little bit of air out, so it's easier to tie, and it's also softer to work with. So it's better for the balloon, and it's better for you as well, okay? So I'm going to make more this style version at first. So I'm going to hold on to the knot. And what we mean by that is the actual bit where it's tied.
So not this nozzle bit.
Not the nozzle.
Why?
Because if you hold on to that and bring that balloon round, you're going to have a very loose first loop.
Right.
And then your first one's not going to be the same.
I totally understand.
It's not going to be the same as the rest of them. And we know a lot of people say, oh, you know, they're not the same size and that. We're not looking for perfection, but this is the one that normally gets people off on the wrong foot, okay? So I'm going to hold on to that knot with my finger and thumb. I'm going to fold that balloon over on itself, and with my finger there, I'm going to hold that down. I'm going to adjust the size to what I'm happy with. Little squeeze, twist that round, and to lock it into position, just tuck that nozzle through the loop. And that's it. Fold the balloon over again, and I can see this is my center point. I've got one loop here. Now my next loop is not the same size, so I'm not happy with that. So we can just slide it to adjust until I'm happy that they're about the same size.
Somebody's asked on there as well that they've joined. Where do I find the emojis? You can type your colon Q-Dog colon and it will work, or colon Q up, Or you can click the emojis down the bottom, and there should be some Q corner
Should be there for
emojis,
you, in a
depending
row.
on which platform you are currently using.
That's right. So I've got my first 2 loops, and now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm folding that loop over, and again I'm looking at the other one for a reference. We're using that as our guide. So I just move that loop until I'm happy. When I'm happy with that, from the back I'm going to squeeze that balloon down, and I'm going to wrap the excess over, and that's it. So fold it over, match the size, squeeze that balloon. I'm not twisting that loop, because when we twist those loops right, it gets tighter and tighter, and that's when that balloon's going to go pop. So a little squeeze there and wrap that over. So I'm now on to number 5, and then I'm going to put, also what I'm doing as well here is I'm not just doing a random loop from wherever it starts.
Okay.
I'm going to place it
Where you want
between
it.
2 more petals,
Okay.
so then that way size-wise it's going to be more accurate. Now at this point here, because of quite big loops, sometimes you might find you've got a bit too much air in there. Okay, don't go ahead and push it, because this is going to be too tight. We're going to open that up to let the air out, and it's going to burst and tear back. So before we do that,
You want to do
we're
that?
going
Or
to use
you do
the
handy
little cutter on the sides, like as if we knew, and we can just soften that balloon off, and then I can use that to size it.
Shelley, you do need to do the colon before and after for the works, like Dana's just put in the chat there.
So I'm going to bring that round, and I'm going to tuck that through, and then that's our 6 loops. I'm just going to straighten that up, make sure they're all sitting comfortably, and then that gives us our 6 petals.
Flower.
Okay. So you're going to do the centre on that for us.
No, because I don't have any of those balloons.
Oh my goodness, I'll do it then.
Okay, you do that.
So I'm going to take a 260Q
And golden rod.
golden rod. I'm going to tie that balloon off. Now this is just to make the small centre, okay? You can inflate this all the way to the end and use that very end piece, which is absolutely fine, but you do find you waste a lot of balloon on that, and yes, you can recycle it, that's fine. But when you're doing a lot of flowers, that takes a little bit of effort, so we just use any part of the balloon, and we'll use many parts of this. Take that tied end of the golden rod, we're going to wrap that around to secure it into position. We're going to take the golden rod, we're going to squeeze it and twist it to make our bubble, and that can be whatever size you want, okay? You don't want it to be too tight, that bubble, because we're going to make that more like a pinch twist. So hold in the bubble, take the excess balloon and just pull it behind the flower. Now it will go like a pinch twist, it will have that kind of odd shape, but with a little bit of a squeeze and a twist, it'll go much rounder and have a nicer, more appealing shape.
Lovely.
I'm going to chop this off. We're not going to chop at the end though, we're going to chop it where we need to tear it off, because that way we can recycle more of the balloon.
In fact, if I keep the air in
It's gonna go
and we
straight
tie this
forward.
off again, I can go straight into our purple one, connect that in, do the small bubble like Dom showed you. In it goes, wrap that round, take that off, and we can go again. Okay.
Okay. Now just very quickly, before we go on to putting the design together, I'm going to inflate another 260Q.
You'll have to say that again, because I think that's going to get in between you and Ed. So he's going to inflate another 260Q.
That's exactly what I just said.
I know that.
So the same type of flower with the same petals, but we're just going to make it much smaller, and you can see that the same technique can produce different results. So now the petal is much smaller.
If you are having problems with the trouble with the emojis, you might want to refresh your connection, because sometimes it just doesn't appear until you've refreshed it that first time. But yeah, you should be able to type in or click the smiley face at the bottom, which will reveal the emojis for you. Ooh. Thanks, Shelley.
I'm just
And
doing
Carol.
the same technique, just a loop, then a loop, and I'm trying to match the size. And all I'm doing is put my finger behind there to get that nice tight fold to make it
Yeah,
easier.
so much smaller petals
Yeah,
for this,
if
right?
you try to fold it, it kind of moves around on you, but by putting your finger behind, fold it over your finger, but remember to take your finger out. Yeah.
Otherwise it becomes very expensive.
It does,
It costs
after
your
5.
finger every... And
So,
you want to do 6 petals, you're going to be ruined.
No good.
You're going to be toes involved and all
So
sorts.
again,
And you don't want
squeeze that balloon from the back and then wrap it around. I'm trying to think
different
about...
scented flower there,
Yeah,
Dom.
totally. So I'm just going to work my way around, folding it over, a little squeeze at the back, bring that balloon over. I'm going to do the same 6 petals on this one. So this is the same technique, granted a little bit more fiddly because you're working with the smaller petal, and it does show up the size differences.
However, the advantage of the smaller one is that it uses less air, so it's less expensive. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Because we've got to keep those costs down. But we've just got the 6 petals, but because it's much smaller, they are squeezed together, and it gives a really nice, cute look to that.
Somebody said they're loving their haircuts, not as much as we are.
I know.
As it's,
I can feel my ears. Living the dream, people.
Living the dream.
Same thing again, but we're going to change the size of this centerpiece because we want to make sure it's much smaller, so it's more in proportion to this size flower. So again, squeeze it to get that nice and round. Remove that excess. We'll wrap that round to lock it in position, and then we'll just tie at the back. And don't be afraid to give that a bit of a squeeze and a twist to get the shape that you want.
Okay, so for this particular one, no,
Same
this one,
technique,
yeah, same technique. For this particular one, what we're going to do is to connect it in. I've taken a 160Q and cut it in half. Yeah, I tied it off, cut it in half, but taken the air out of it.
Beautifully done,
so
I
it
would
becomes
say
a
as
tight.
well.
There we go, thank you. I had years of experience. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap it into.
Sorry, Andrew's had his haircut today. You feeling good, Andrew?
Yes,
we are.
Yeah, we certainly are. So I've just wrapped it into the design there, so now it becomes a stretchy connection. So it means I can put it in wherever I want in there. But what we can do is we can take a second one and have the Princess Leia look. For the
See, that wouldn't have worked with your haircut.
yeah, I know, it would have disappeared. But anyway, it becomes a stretchy connection. So what I can do is...
Sorry, I'm just... Someone said, where do I find this hair? People talk of. Yeah, it's going to happen to us all.
Ask Luke. And then what I'm doing is I'm just wrapping it in and I'm putting it into the design. So it's stretchy. If anybody plays with it, it's going to go
It's
back.
a very
into
good
the
mechanical connection, but it's also very flexible that we can be creative with it.
So we have multiple of these.
Very good. I think someone's Two Stone Lighter. If only, Andrew. If only.
Yes, absolutely. So again, we're just going to put them in there, and I can.
We're going to Mr. Cube thumbs up in the chat.
In
Loving
the design.
Maybe we should have done haircut Wednesday.
Haircut Wednesday. And then, although that it is predominantly a front-facing design, we still want to decorate the back as well, so that if it goes on here, you know, if it goes on a table, for instance, somebody's on the back, it's not. We've already got this design, so we might as well put this. It's
take advantage of the fact that it is a design that can be seen from both sides. It doesn't have to be focused. It can be heavily kind of balanced towards the front because that's where we're focusing the design point on. But there's no reason why you can't do a bit of decoration.
Yeah, just a little bit to add in there.
Yeah.
And then I'm just. The great thing with this is that you can. Oh, hey.
It's alive.
You can stretch them into place. And what am I need on there? Oh, I've got red. No.
We love the new thumbs up as well. Can't say new though. We love the new thumbs up. I think I've lost my power.
Of what?
With my hair.
Is that what it is?
Someone can't find the join button. Could be tight, I'm thinking, Trish. There should be where the button is to subscribe. There should be just left of that.
Yeah, it should be a join button.
Yeah. But we all have those tired moments.
And just moving these around to get happier.
Well, this is again though that technique of using the 260Q. If you were to use something like a glue dot, which is great and it works. However, once you put it on, it is committed. Where this, you can kind of be a little bit more organic. You can put them into position,
and then move them
add
to
some
be
more,
happy,
and then
right?
move them around,
yeah,
and you can layer them really well as well, like this here, where you can put them in a position where you wouldn't normally be able to do easily. So again, that one works really well for us.
Okay, and then what we're going to do is, because this foil design is mainly across to what will be the right-hand side of the design, from looking from the front,
You really
we want
have to
to
think
add.
about that.
I know. So we've put a lot of the flowers over to the side with the balloon as well. And we're going to add something on this side, and that's where the larger balloons are going to. I know. The larger balloons are going to come into it. So the larger flowers. I'll get rid of that and get rid of that.
I spend time making them.
We got a 160Q. Look, we got a 160Q. Lime green, and what I'm going to do is tie that in to the 160Q to create the flower on the end, and we'll do 3D. Whoa.
Wow. It's coming at you.
It is. And then I've already got some that I've prepared, so I just want to make sure that it's roughly the same length to the middle.
And it is roughly, because if they're all identically the same length, it doesn't look so good for this type of design, but it wants to be roughly, because if there's one wild one, it's going to stand out.
And then tie that off, so that's about the same size. Get our other flower.
Thanks for you.
Connect that in, and connect this in to create 6 of them.
Beautiful.
So we have a bunch of flowers on here.
So, for the bow, which we're going to use, because we need something to wrap around and join this together.
Yeah,
so we're going to use a 160Q.
Because otherwise, we're going to connect them to the bottom, right? And if you just connect them like that,
it's a bit mean.
It's a bit crazy.
So we can do this a couple of techniques for a bow. So depending on the size of the flowers, depending on the size of your balloon, depending on the size of the bow that you want, you can either make a bow and a band, or you can do a bow and a band in one go. It's entirely up to you. Okay, so I'm going to do a bow to start with. I'm going to do a small bow, not going to do huge. So we're going to start off with the tail bit first of the bow. So I'm going to set the size. This is whatever size you want to do, but think about your proportions. So if your tail's one size, you loop, you want them kind of so they work together. So I'm going to start off with the tail part of the balloon. So I'm going to put a twist into there, and then I'm going to do 2 loops for the bow. Now you can do a loop, then another loop. That's absolutely fine. What I tend to do is, because I like them to be the same size the best I can, so I kind of work out what the sort of size I'm looking at as one, and then I open it back out again and fold that over, so I'm actually creating one bigger loop. But I've done that little one first to get the idea, bring it up, and then I'm going to twist it and lock it into position for my one big loop. Now from here, we can put that in half exactly, bring it down, and then twist the centre. Then that way it ensures that my 2 loops are as close as possible that we're happy with. Now, what you can do on this, depending on how big it is, I could just finish this off down here for that part, or if you have enough balloon, depending on the size, you could actually take that around that bunch of flowers
and finish off,
and then use that to then finish off to do that. Because of the size of the loops we've got on this design, I'm going to complete the bow, then do a separate one for the band. Okay. So I want some stability in the middle of this, because otherwise it's not going to sit very well. So
I just realised showing white on a white table was a great idea.
Yeah, I'll do it. So I'm going to do a small pinch twist, so a bubble, then pull the rest of the balloon around the centre, and then I'm going to match up the 2 tail parts so they're about the same size. So we'll put a twist in. Thank you very much. Let the excess air out and tie that off. Make sure when you tie this that you really pull that knot down so it's locked in position.
People don't see this. Sometimes what happens is they want to make this knot as tight as they can, and just pull tight. And what happens is the knot travels. What you actually want to do is take hold of the knot and push it into the balloon as you pull this there, and it makes that knot as small as you possibly can. It's a little tip, but it makes a huge difference.
It gives
the ability. In fact, it's one of them.
It gives you the ability to cut that balloon off much closer than you would normally do as well. So we'll chop that off, and that's going to give us the 2 tail parts. Now, this bow at the moment is not looking very nice. It's a bit kind of squished, and then we want to shape them. We're going to shape them with a bit of a shock twist to create the shape that we want. But instead of doing one and then trying to match the other one to it, let's do them at the same time. So bring them together like a pair of wings. I'm going to put a bit of a squeeze in here, and a squeeze in there. But they've done it the same, identical, so it just makes it easy. So you just give it a bit of a squeeze and it will shape, but I've got 2 the same, which makes it so much easier.
Absolutely.
This won't sit on its own. It's got no structure at the back, but that's what the flowers are going to give us. Okay. So I can tie this one on. So I take my next balloon. I'm going to lock that in to the bow. and then we can take this to bring around those flowers and then lock back into that bow.
So if I hold the flowers,
Yep. So we're going to bring this round the front. I'm going to add not too much tension, but enough just to hold it in position. And I'm going to lock that into and around the centre of that bow. Let the air out there. Make sure we tie that. And then chop off the excess without either getting my fingers or
the flowers.
chopping that bow. Just straighten everything up so it looks nice again, and you can slide that bow up there to lock it into position. There we go.
We're good?
Yes. Tidy up.
Excellent. Tidy up. Right, okay, so this is the front of our design again, and then what we're going to do is we're going to add these into here. So we have, this would be normally a scrap of 260 or a 160 in this case, and I'm just going to pull it through the centre of our balloons like this. I'll tie it off first in a single knot so that it can't slide one way or the other.
I'm trying to work out what the first clever thing was, Luke.
And then this comes into the design and we pull it in tightly and we wrap it into our design like we normally would so that it sits into the design and it shows off our flowers and balloons. We can push it in a little bit further and it'll just give it a little bit more structure.
And again, that's why the Dacron's there, so you've got that strength to it. It is going to move, but it's not going to fall apart. It's not going to open up. If you did that with neck to neck, probably is going to open up into a bit of a gap. That way it's going to kind of almost fold it over. A 260Q, you've got to put quite a lot of tension on. Structurally it's going to hold together, but it is going to fold over quite a lot.
If you're unsure anyway, you can put a glue dot or something like this, a blue sticky dot, and then just connect that into there so that the whole thing stands together. But we quite like the way that it actually has that separation so that it has two different points for a very simple, they're sitting a bit too square for me.
You're right, Harry, it would be a great teacher gift. So if you think about this particular balloon, you can also do personalised ones as well. It's a great way of adding that little touch to it. But yeah, it's just that fun, full-coloured thank you. And I think there's a lot of that needs to go around right now because there's a lot of people that's worked very hard and we underappreciate them. Mainly our hairdressers.
So another huge thing as well is that we are very, very grateful for you guys because you guys allow us to do what we do by supporting the channel and watching the Q Corner and the Q Corner convention and everything else as well. We are very, very grateful to everything that you guys do to support us in sharing our passion.
One of them
for balloons and the business of balloons as well.
And we have to say thank you to Pioneer for producing such a great balloon
that
gives us the inspiration to do designs like this, because that's where we take our key from. That's where we go, okay, what colours are we going to use? Because someone there spent the time to work out which colours go well together.
Absolutely.
Thanks for that.
So you take this design and you make it into whatever you want to do. But if you share it with us, that would be awesome. Yeah, there is a community page on our YouTube channel, and you can post on there. So that would be fantastic if you wish to do that also.
We'd love to see it.
We would love to see it. Post on Mr. Q's Facebook page and say, look, Q Corner.
Show them guys some love.
Yes. And of course, we've gone over as we always do. So that's surprising. So a last reminder, here are the new emojis that are there. We need to go on full screen if we can, Dom.
We do. I just thought something as well, but you carry on. I'll do this first. One sec. I want to do this. There you go. Right, you chat them, and I'm going to try and find.
As Rachel Gay says on there, the Pioneer Balloon product design team is amazing, and yes, they truly are amazing. They're amazing artists and amazing people too. I know what you've just remembered. Okay,
I'm going to try. Can't guarantee it.
Okay. So just
I don't know if I can. Oh, okay.
Okay.
You carry on.
There's no way you're going to do all them.
I'm gonna try because I think we owe it.
Okay.
To these.
So these are the new emojis that are on there. Somebody says they need a Mr. Q doll. Yeah, the plush, they're a fantastic, cute thing. If you are a member, what also happens too is you get your name in the credits.
He's talking and I'm trying.
And that's what Dom's trying to do at the moment. We ideally, it's before the live show that if you've joined, you will get into the next credits too. But it's not for just joining. It means if you continue to be a member of the Q Corner channel, then you will continually have your name as a thank you for your support in
Because we
the
do
credits.
appreciate it.
Yes, okay.
Really
You
do.
take yourself off that, Dom.
Okay.
You take us off that and go back to just cook you out to that one you were on.
No, I was on
In
that other
preview.
one. So...
In preview.
There you go.
There we go. Yeah,
Right,
I was
you-
fine with that. So yeah, these are the different ones, and we're going to be back in 2 weeks' time. But next week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we also have 3 more videos that are coming out. I'm trying to remember who it is for next week. I know that I'm
You can do
90% sure
You can do
that
it.
Stephanie is one of them, which was one of my favourite classes from the Q Corner Convention 2020. I'm trying to remember the other 2 classes, but
Well, they were all great.
why does Mr. Q not have his own emoji? Good question, Harry. You should put that in the community tab.
Yes, Harry, that is
and ask for a
a
Mr. Q
great thing to
emoji.
suggest
He does have a
in there.
thumbs. He does have a thumbs.
He does,
But
huh?
we agree. We agree. Why not?
He's in there
What happens is
partly.
we are limited to how many emojis we can have, depending on how many
Right
members we
now.
have. So the more members that we get, the more emojis that we can include. So it's only right that you guys get to help us decide which emojis we should be. One of the ones that we were talking about was we realised that in the emojis there doesn't seem to be a pride heart. So we thought we would do a pride heart based on the Qualatex foil, the pride
Yes,
heart.
we thought that colourful.
Rachel, thank you very much. It is so. Next week's videos are Stephanie Morris, which is twisted, loads of twisting designs. If you're into twisting, if you're into decor and retail designs, there's a really cute figure which actually her 2021 class kind of worked on from. That's a really good class. Joseph Ho makes a dinosaur / dragon, which is absolutely mind blowing, right?
Quite a versatile one, that one as
Yeah,
well.
it's using some distortion techniques, which is really cool. And also we have Olympia Munoz, who she's doing. I remember she takes the stripes.
Can't guarantee I've got everyone.
Okay. The stripes baby girl foil and communion foil, and then makes her own bubble. Uses a deco bubble and paints, and actually creates it. And when it was live, unfortunately, we had some technical issues, so we did lose some. So
down.
we've edited it as much as we can to get rid of all the gaps and everything, put it back together as best we can. So please enjoy it. Also, please remember that they are subtitled. So if it was originally in Spanish, like Olympia's, most of it was in Spanish, there are now English subtitles for it. However, Stephanie's is in English. There are now Spanish,
multiple
French,
languages.
Portuguese, and English subtitles on all devices, but if you're on a desktop, you can have it in pretty much any language you like.
And while we carry on talking for just a couple more minutes, we have to say thank you to
We
our
need to
crew
switch over to that other
and our
PC
rock
set
stars.
so that we're closer in.
Okay.
Straight away in the preview. There we go. There we go. So these are members. These are we just
with
a huge
us
thank you
for the journey.
to our members. We're hopefully going to have to speed that up
That's
to get
as fast
through
as it's
them
going
all.
to go tonight.
Okay.
Because we didn't feed it. That's what you're getting. But we're doing it so we can relish in our new members.
Yes, and
But
we
as
say a huge
we
thank
get
you.
more, we will pay
I can
the
see
extra money.
Jason is
to
on there
speed it
from
up.
Malaysia, who was one of our younger competitors for the Q Corner. So thank you. Iris has said the main guy needs an emoji. Yes, Mr. Q does need an emoji.
We
We shall
agree.
work on that. Put it in the community tab as a suggestion,
Yes.
and we will take it on board.
We really will.
So thank you, the team that makes everything happen. Yes, thank you, Rockstar merch. Oh, interesting. I like that idea. We're going to disappear.
I like a bit of Rockstar.
I think it's gone all the way around.
I think
so
we've got it
it's
all.
not
So
yes. Thank you
Yes,
to our
thank
members. Thank you for you guys for watching this. And if you do have any questions, please drop us a message. We'd be more than happy to help. We really are grateful for you and
guys.
all that you do.
Yes.
Hope you like the design.
We do.
We'll see you in 2
weeks'
weeks. Okay. But bye-bye for now.
But enjoy the
Had it the wrong
QCC
way
2020. But is it 2 seconds? It's fine. See you next time, folks.
Bye-bye.